Welcome to Soccer As We Like It, the Man United Dash and the channel for United fans. And today we are doing the post-game match between Man United and Everton, where Man United were absolutely destroyed again, losing the 8th game of the season against a team fighting relegation and managed by, should I say, one of the worst managers in the Premier League currently, Frank Lampard. But they were the better team. Joining me from Australia is Adam, our co-host. Adam, how are you today, mate?
Good, buddy, good. Yeah, hanging in there.
As for and the UK crew being led by Vimor. No,
Hey, Dave.
where's our Sienna today?
Yeah, she's having her lunch.
Nice.
Yeah.
What's for lunch, mate?
Some baby slurp.
You sound like the way
family program. I love it.
The way you look like you had eaten half of it, and you're trying to hide your face.
Yeah.
So
I have a thing for baby food.
Okay, calm down there, mate. So as you can see, United have drawn at 9 and lost 8, which means out of 9 games, that's 27 points. They've taken 9 points. Combined together, out of 51 points, United have taken 9. That absolutely is ridiculous. They've dropped 42 points. That's fucking ridiculous, mate. Absolutely ridiculous.
They've won 8 out of 17 games with Ralph Rangnick.
That's just halfway mark, mate.
Less than 50%, man.
I bet he's regretting taking the job.
Must be.
You know what? Sorry, there you go.
Adam, you saw the game. You saw United concede a goal early. What was going through your mind? Did you think, oh, these guys are turning around, we'll get 3 points, have a bag and a pack of chips? How did it go?
Yeah, I went to Scruffy Murphy's in Sydney and watched it with the supporters club, and it was a good atmosphere. You know, it was not bad. The boys were there. You know, it was funny. Everyone was asking, oh, what do you think, the score and everything like that, and you know, without being confident, I said, yeah, I think 2-1 maybe. You know, I think I've got a good feeling, but always lead up, I get a bit excited and stuff like that. But one of my good mates, Josh, he's an English boy. He's season pass holder to United, but he's living in Australia at the moment. He said, I reckon we're going to lose 1-0. And sure enough, he was right on the money. And he said there's nothing that he said. He just predicted that, coming up against Everton, they'll be fighting for everything, and we'll be just staying the same. And I think that's how we were in our last pod, very apprehensive about the game.
Yeah.
I think everyone's the first 10, 15 minutes, I thought were pretty good, even though, I always come on here and I always judge the game by the first couple of kicks. And the first couple of kicks in the game from Fred were, let's just volley it anywhere. And the second one was an overhead in the middle of the pitch and just kick it anywhere. So straight away, they're just thinking about, let's get the ball out of here. And there's literally 3 minutes, 4 minutes into a game. And we're thinking about just kicking it anywhere. So, yeah, that was pretty disheartening. And then Rashford, he had a couple of good headers, and somehow Pickford became a goalkeeper. And then, Matic cost us. Look, I can't say Matic cost us a goal. He did lose the ball. He did lose the ball, Matic. But, he was having a good game. Besides that, he had a pretty good game, I thought, Matic.
Was running, bossing the midfield.
Yeah, I thought he was very good. And, I don't want to hear really anyone blame Harry Maguire for the goal or, even though I thought Maguire dropped his shoulder into the ball, everyone had a bad game. It was just terrible. Aaron Wan-Bissaka. The whole game, I was wondering how the friggin' hell hasn't he been subbed yet? He's never confident on the ball. The only time he does look confident is maybe when he's making a tackle. And even then, to me, he's jockeying too far away and he's giving the player too much room. I thought he was horrendous. Bruno, I didn't think it was too bad, but again, he's playing at 10. I don't understand how he finds himself out in the 11 position all the time. You see Tellez overlapping, and then you see Ronaldo coming again. I just don't know what it is with all our players falling out to that 11 position.
Yes.
Yesterday I saw Yesterday I
Ronaldo
saw
got that.
Ronaldo out there. I saw
Elanga got
Bruno out
that.
there. I saw Sancho out there. I saw Tellez out there.
Yes.
And
They
then
were
they're
going through the
trying to
left a lot.
everything on the left, and then
Yeah.
and then they're trying to. There's 4 or 5 players trying to knock it around in a 6 meter by 6 meter area, all on the left hand side. I just don't get it. I don't understand that. Maybe I don't understand football these days, but
You
I
don't
don't
understand Man
understand.
United football.
Yeah, I don't understand that. Why have we got 4 and 5 players over one side of the field just knocking it around in that corner? And then we haven't got a midfield looking for that ball to switch it to the other side. Or then we'll just go back. So I wasn't. As soon as I saw the lineup and I saw Wan-Bissaka in there, I thought, oh, here we go. I think he could be one of the players on his way out. Surely we can't keep him. He's freaking horrendous.
He was horrendous, mate. Absolutely. For 50 million. We got
I'm starting to think Varane's. I know he never played yesterday, but injury prone still. He's becoming a liability to the team because he's always injured now.
But wasn't
going
he
into
Real Madrid like that? He was always a regular figure at Madrid. He's come over now and he's just niggling injuries. He's becoming a little Phil Jones at the moment.
I thought Sancho was okay, but what was annoying me more, again, he won't take the player on 1v1. For some reason, he wants to cut back inside again. I don't understand that. Look, I can't sit here and say it was our worst game because most games that we play is pretty much the same. So, I read, and I was talking to Emad about this. Everton ran 10 kilometres more than us. Now, that's a hell of a lot of running.
Yeah,
we come out of the backs now again and we're stagnant. Pogba comes on for Fred. And I just didn't understand Pogba again. Like, we always talk about Pogba needs to get forward, but as soon as he came on, he was dropping back into the line of defence to receive the ball, to play that 6 role. So I thought that was Matic's position. But all of a sudden, Pogba comes on and he's starting to run that position. So right around the pitch, I'm just lost. The players, I don't know whether it's Ralph Rangnick's tactics or he's just given up on the team and he's just told them to just freelance the football. But it's just terrible all around the pitch.
Vimo.
Yeah.
What was your assessment, especially the first half? United's start of the game, they look like a house on fire. They look like, yeah, we're going to take these people down. Yeah, we got it. They gave us that false hope. When the goal went in, it looked like lights out, mate.
I mean, we started off well, like we do. We high energy, good possession. I think we had quite a few good chances in the beginning.
Yeah.
But we were able to put it in the back of the net. And then I noticed that Everton was basically playing with a low block and they were defending like titans. I remember throughout the game that Ronaldo was literally the only person in the box, the only target to aim for, and there were 8 Everton players in that 12-yard box. So, I think it's no secret that everyone knows that we can't break down low blocks. Even Lampard knows this, and he set up his team to say, look, when these guys have the ball, you defend like titans. I want all 11 players defending, and that's exactly what they did. And they sat back, and they know that we can't open them up. They just keep their formation, their 4-4-2 or whatever they were playing, 4-2-3-1, and they defend. And we just have no clue how to do it. There's no confidence or belief in the players to open up a team that sits with a low block. And all they can do then is turn over the ball, win possession, and take us on the counter-attack, or wait for us to make a mistake, which we inevitably do. I looked at that first goal, or the only goal in the game. And what happened is that Fred and Matic had tried to intercept the ball in our own 12-yard box and then fell into a back line where the centre-backs are, a back line of 5, what that meant is that midfield where Gordon was completely open, and the only person that was able to try and get to him in time was Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes went in for a slide, tried to get it, and we had a back line of 5 where our 2 defensive midfielders were, and they were all static. They were in a line, but they were all static. And obviously, as you know, the ball hit Harry Maguire, came off his arm, deflected into the goal. I'm beyond just blaming individual players now. I think it's the whole team, the whole system. They don't know how to do it. They don't know how to subscribe to Ragnick's philosophy. Ragnick probably doesn't even know how to fix this problem anymore. You've got a team of misfits, and I believe Ragnick's philosophy of football is about keeping the ball, keeping possession, and then finding ways to unlock teams.
Right.
But that's the bit we're falling over, unlocking teams. He's good at keeping possession. He's good at, allowing the team to keep the ball, which is what they're doing. Right. But I think it's also hampering our team because their fear is that if they keep turning the ball over, giving possession over, and conceding possession, then they're going to be up for criticism by the coaching setup. So they are not looking to take players on or looking to lose possession. They are looking to keep the ball. Yeah, and I think that's also hurting us because we're not taking risks, and that's why Sancho, a player who would normally take players on, is not doing it.
Right, in fear of losing the ball and get hit on a break.
That's it.
So
that's my theory.
With the technical players we have technical players who are skillful. We have the Sancho, we have Pogba, you have Bruno Fernandes, people who could pick locks from defenses. Why are we still finding it hard to pick locks of these defenses that are put in front of us, despite having such creative players?
The other thing as well is that we are literally like, I don't know if did you ever see those Sabutio football games?
Oh, back in there, they were lovely.
Yeah, you put the pieces on the board and then, one of them comes alive and then you move them. And it's like our players are like Sabutio players. They're just kind of static. And so when someone who can pick a creative pass like Bruno, I know he does give away the ball a lot, but he picked a sublime pass to Rashford, who couldn't even get on the end of it. Did you see that one?
Mm-hmm.
Did you see? It was a sublime pass straight into the 6-yard box, but obviously Rashford missed it. So the fact is that if you're going to be looking for a deep-lying playmaker like Bruno, and Pogba can also do this, you've got to have the people at the end of it to make those runs and to confuse the defense. And that would be Rashford, Sancho, Ronaldo, and then any other attacking players should be joining in to confuse that defense and run them ragged. And the only person I saw making those type of runs was Ronaldo. Rashford might have done it once or twice. Sancho, he seems to be shying away from that role. Ronaldo's the only one that's constantly on the move, constantly giving the defenders something to think about.
Yeah.
The others have kind of they don't do it, or they've given up.
It's the tactics. It's the players' inability to figure out the moves that Ragnick wants them to do. So, so you're literally trying to say these players.
I think they're at a stage where
dense.
I don't think they want to be in Europe next year with Ten Hag coming in. I really believe they're throwing games. They're throwing games. So they know Ten Hag's coming in, and he doesn't want anything to do with Europe. He wants more time with his players, and I really believe that they're throwing games. That way they can work on it next season. I firmly believe that.
To throw games is sabotage of the club, and I don't 100%. Think anyone would accept that. But I really do think they have given up
top 4
on this squad. They've given up on top 4. That was given a long time ago. But I think they've actually given up in believing in the football they're playing. They're completely lost at sea. I think to throw games is sabotage. That would be, serious. That'd be like treason in the club.
Next stop, Norwich, Old Trafford, a team fighting for their lives. Remember, Watford already come. They got a point. They beat us 4-0, 4-0, 4-1. Then they got a point at Old Trafford. Can you see United beating Norwich on Saturday at Old Trafford, 70 in front of 76,000?
No,
you can't see them. Even though Norwich is bottom of the table.
Doesn't mean anything. We've lost to many of them at the bottom of the table. I just don't see United doing anything. I just don't think they're interested. They are not interested. Every single one of those players, except De Gea, just doesn't give a shit. They simply don't. They simply don't. You can see that every single week. And if you can't see that, then you're clueless to football because they are giving their fans nothing. They are giving their fans nothing. Yeah. They are absolutely pathetic, man. Absolutely pathetic. It's just that bad. This is without doubt the worst team I've ever seen in my entire life following Manchester United. Without a doubt. They're a bunch of pea-hearts.
I was telling one of my mates in the pub yesterday. I was even referring to you. I said, we go back to the 80s where United didn't win trophies, but the football was also beautiful football. They had wingers. The football was fast. They did not win trophies because it was a dominant Liverpool side back in the 80s, but they played better football. These guys are just, the football's even so
Yeah, but they weren't playing, Tim. The difference is they weren't playing for themselves. That's the difference. Even when Manchester United got relegated, and most of our fans wouldn't even know that when we got relegated in 74. They fought for the badge. They came back up. They fought for their fans. They did everything they could for the club. They were loyal players. These players weren't on big money. They were fighting for their life because they loved the club. They loved playing football. And I've said it before, these boys that were playing at that time in the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, these players weren't well paid.
No,
and they're all struggling to this day.
Yeah.
To make money.
They're only like £300 a week, mate. £300 a week.
But they're still struggling to make money. The club only looks after them if they work for the club.
Right.
And you just, these guys have got nothing. Have got nothing compared to the older players. They've got nothing. They're an embarrassment to the club. They are a disgrace to the club. They should all hold their head in shame.
Yeah, so this is why Ten Hag has said basically he wants to have more control over the transfer policy because the club and the board have been buying players that don't really want to fight for this club. And he said he doesn't want those mistakes repeated. We have been buying players that don't give a shit about Man United.
Just want big wages.
They've come here because it's the massive payday. And it's like going to the Goldman Sachs of football.
Yeah, and it boosts their profile. You're playing for Manchester United. You get
exactly.
Your personal, your Twitter accounts, your social media platform, your status is elevated to another level.
Right.
These promos and all this nonsense and bollocks that's irrelevant to United's performances on the field.
Yeah,
guys, in an absolute
unlike City and Liverpool and other clubs that are doing well, you can come to Man United and get the biggest pay in England as a footballer, but not be expected to be a top footballer. Because to get into City or Liverpool, you have to be a top footballer. You have to be performing 100% for every game, or you get benched. Whereas with Man United, you get the top salary, but you don't have to perform.
No, you don't.
And that's how we've been.
Think about it.
The best player that came on for us yesterday was Juan Mata. He was the best player. He came on. He made every time he touched the ball, he made sure his pass was clean. Every single time. He may have lost the ball once. But, mate, that guy, he comes on, passes, moves. He's helping Alanga along, and he was whispering things in Alanga's ears even before he got on. That's the kind of player you need. Yet this poor bloke can't even get a gig.
And he's finished. He's out the door, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's done.
And the thing is, we're playing players like Pogba that you would never, ever, ever see Juan Mata run the club down. Never. He is such a loyal servant to whoever he plays for, right? Yet we play a muppet like Paul Pogba just to say, oh yeah, Pogba's playing. He offers nothing to the team. Absolutely zero to the team.
It's just gone worse, mate.
Give me one matter over poor Pogba any day.
It's just that he hasn't got the legs to carry the ball as he used to. That's the problem.
It doesn't matter, Tim. He's still, even when we're playing in games, he comes in and he makes a difference.
Yeah.
Even if he can't play 90 minutes. Even if he can't play 90 minutes, he still makes a difference when he comes on. Like, but what's that? Is that nearly his third game this season?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and it's not like we're setting the world on fire.
Right.
It's just I don't know. Right. It's just the same shit every single week, mate. And it's just getting worse before it gets better.
Yeah. That's it. We've got Norwich relegated team, low block next Saturday, Old Trafford, 76,000 packed out. If United concede a goal and fans start walking out, probably they'll sit up like, oh shit, these guys, they're literally turning back on us. But, those fans will sit through, because they got to get their money's worth. Some have flown in from all parts of the world coming to watch a shit show against a low block team that's fighting relegation. You can't even bloody score one goal. Fucking give me a break here, mate. All right, quickly run into the. I'm just going to call a name out of a player. You give me a score at 1 to 10.
I'll give you an easy one. 1 to 11, besides 1 to 10. No, sorry, not 1 to 10. 2 to 10. I'll give them all a 1.
1 out of
okay?
10.
De Gea, I'll give 5.
5.
That's it. I'm done. It's easy.
Vimo, where you stand on that? Are you eating all Sienna's food?
Yeah, I'm just eating some baby food here.
Go easy.
No, I'm joking. Yeah, I think it's pretty much a low scoring ride. I would probably give. Shane Ronaldo didn't score, but I'd probably give him a slightly higher score than the rest because I could see that he was giving.
It was a hardship. There was just no.
Yeah, it was a hardship for him, and he was giving the Everton defenders a bit of a puzzling time because of his movement.
That's the most I could give him.
But he had no support from pretty much the rest of the team in terms of breaking down that defense.
But Vim, how can they give him support if they're not even holding their own positions? And this is what I'm talking about, Bruno. Like, Bruno's supposed to be Ronaldo's support. And half the time he's running around like a headless chook.
Yep.
And that cannot be in Ralph Rangnick's tactics. That can't be in his tactics. And he needs to be pulled up for it.
I think it's the season's a write-off now. So all these guys are doing.
Yeah, but the fourth spot's still there.
Not for us. Not for us.
Regardless of the way it's still mathematically, we can still make it.
It's mathematically possible, but it's not there for us. We don't want it. The players don't want it.
Oh, I get it. I know we don't want it. I know we don't want it, but there's still something there to play for. But the players don't want it.
Yeah, but they're not playing for, are they? They're not playing for anything anymore.
They're not.
Yeah. So what's happening at the club is seems like they've given up. They've almost penned a deal with Ten Hag. They're down tools. They've almost penned a deal with Ten Hag. Ten Hag is watching these games thinking, what a bunch of idiots. I'm going to get rid of the Hardest squad anyway. So they're thinking, well, why should I play for this club if Ten Hag's not going to keep me anyway? I think there's certain players that will be staying. We know a few of those who those are. We know a few players will be going. Apparently, he wants to keep Rashford, by the way. Ten Hag has been asked about that. And he wants Rashford to stay.
I don't see the problem with that. If he can turn his form around, then I don't see the problem.
Why are they asking him then questions? Why do they want to know? Is it this? You see, this is the problem of the press or whoever's asking them stupid questions. Let him arrive and let him do his work.
Yeah.
Start asking who's he going to drop, who's not going to drop. This is the stupidity here now.
It hasn't even been announced, so I don't even know where that's been read.
I don't know where that's coming from. That's
the announcement?
No, of who's going to keep.
You know what it is.
I don't know what.
I don't think Ten Hag has been asked who you're going to drop, who you're going to keep, because I know that he won't be stupid enough to say anything.
That's what I mean.
But I think what is happening is that analysts out there are making judgment calls on who Ten Hag prefers to have in his squad, and he needs a hard-working, high-tempo, strong, aggressive player to make this work. And his footballing is all about possession, and it's all about constant movement throughout the game, fluidity, pretty much the way City plays, because that's the style they implemented at Bayern Munich together. And so analysts are making judgment calls, thinking, well, this team doesn't fit Ten Hag's bill. So we reckon it's going to be dropped. And I think I shared an article, what was it, last week, that 6 potential players that are going and 6 more that want to leave. And there are some really strange sound bites going around. I don't know where these sound bites are going through and what channels, but players pretty much think their days are numbered.
Then bye-bye.
At this club.
Later. Next.
Yeah.
Yeah, but in that article, half those players, well, all those players, were going to be on the outer anyway.
Yeah, who is it?
But they haven't even played any games, so...
Yeah, so Juan Mata's time is over, but he played a fantastic game. Pogba has been pissing us around for how many years now? He's going to go on a free.
Put him out. Lingard.
Who else is going? Phil Jones. Lingard is, his days are numbered as well. Potentially. I don't know if he'll be revived under Ten Hag. But his contract finishes, right?
Yeah.
Who else is there?
Lee Grant.
Lee Grant.
That's what I mean. How do you go and put Lee Grant in a friggin'... How do you put Lee Grant in that article? Give me a break, man.
The
only thing he's ever done is played a pre-season friendly.
Was he listed as one of the people leaving?
Eric Bailly.
Yeah, he was, yeah.
Eric Bailly, because of his injury-prone record. And Phil Jones, right? Phil Jones' retirement home gig is finished now.
I have Mata, Pogba, Lingard,
Jones,
Grant. Lee Grant, and Bailly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah.
Then on the other side, who are the
people
players
that
who
want to leave?
Rashford.
Yeah. So Dean Henderson was there. Rashford is there.
Henderson.
Now, I think from what I'm hearing as well, Ten Hag likes Dean Henderson.
You like Henderson?
What's bullshit? It's just
media makeup.
Cavani.
I know that, but these are just theories that are out there as to what's potentially going to be happening with this club.
I think Cavani will be gone next season, don't you think?
Cavani's gone.
Cavani gone.
Okay. So that opens we need. We don't know if Mason Green will be back next season, do we?
Oh yeah, Mason.
I saw again. This somebody sent me a thing. Oh, it was one of my mates sent me a thing saying, "Oh, did you hear Mason Greenwood's charges have been dropped?" And I've gone, "Well, you need to show me the article where that's been said because I haven't seen it."
So fake news.
More
fake news.
Yeah. I haven't seen that.
So
I think Mason Greenwood would fit into Ten Hag's plan though.
100%.
Well, people like Luke Shaw. Well, where do
Luke Shaw? I can't. The thing is, he's too lazy, isn't he? He's too lazy. That's why he wants Pochettino. That's why he wanted Pochettino. He's too lazy to make that team. You look at the way City play, yeah? If Ten Hag has his way with us, that's the kind of play we'll have in a couple of seasons' time. Constant movement, constant fluidity. You see they run at a steady pace. They're not sprinting, slow down. It's kind of running at a steady pace. You're not tiring yourself out completely. These guys have got so much good fitness. They can do that run for 90 minutes. And it's constant movement, constant fluidity. That's where we will become.
One thing last night, right? There was me and a couple of other members there. We were sitting there. And Pickford was receiving the ball. A few times there, every time he received the ball in general play to pick it up and to kick it out of his hands. Oh, sorry, yeah. Yeah, picking it up, yeah. 20 seconds to take the goal, 20 seconds to kick it out of his hands.
He was
20 seconds.
Yes, he was.
And the rule is 6 seconds, right?
He was taking a piss. I noticed. I didn't think anyone was noticing.
And not one of our players were there, not even Ralph Rangnick was screaming out, "Go put pressure on him," or at least saying something to the referee.
It's only one time I saw Ronaldo harass him one time.
Yeah.
In the second half, then quickly kick the ball at high out.
20 seconds, man.
He was rolling the ball, pointing fingers and taking the fucking piss. But when you're playing against Man United, you know they're not going to do much anyway. Why should you be in a hurry?
I totally get that. But my point is, the rule is 6 seconds, or if you're going to complain about it, just go and press the keeper. That way you can get rid of it.
Don't forget, we still have players like Diallo at Rangers. Pelistri is somewhere. Martial is still out there.
Van der Beek.
Van der Beek was one of those players in that article that wanted to leave.
So
yeah, But under Ten Hag, there's no way he's going to go.
If Ten Hag
There's
does
no
not play
way.
him, then we know.
Ten Hag made Van de Beek the player he is,
Okay,
and
that would
that's
be
why he
good
got the
to.
recognition
I
from
hope he
us.
replaces Pogba. If
Yeah.
that's
He
the
will.
vision, if that's the vision of Van der Beek under Ten Hag, and he's going to be the man replacing Pogba, then I know that's good. But if
but that wasn't his job. His job was to come in and help Bruno at that 10 position.
Right.
It wasn't come in to play the 8. It was to help Bruno because Bruno was injured at the time.
Right. So
yeah, but Oli never played him.
Maybe Ten Hag might find a way whereby he's gonna either he rotates them or he finds. I don't know how he's gonna do it.
I've got a few things to share with you, though.
Go on, mate.
Some basic stats, right? So Everton haven't won the last 6 games.
Last
they haven't won
six.
the last 6 games. Last 6 games.
I know that.
They haven't won a single game in 6 weeks. Okay, so we as usual are being nice to relegation teams. I've mentioned before that a lot of our players were static, and they got to a stage, I think it was the 60th or 70th minute, that Richarlison, who took out the ball on the left hand side, was headering the ball 5 times on his head.
Yes,
and the crowd were going ole ole ole.
That was embarrassing, mate.
And who was trying to pinch the ball off him? Sancho and Aaron.
I'll just stop you there for a sec. Right? There was, again, at the pub, I picked up on something with a couple of the boys. There was Everton were kicking it over to Tellez's side, right? And it was in the air. It was probably about a 30-meter pass in the air. And every single time, it looked like it was going to go past him. Every single time. And what does Tellez do? Challenge for the ball. Hits his head, goes out for a throw-in. Every single time, man. I couldn't believe it. I saw it the first time, and I'm saying, what's he challenging that ball for? If you let it go past you, I'll take the throw-in. Nah, went up for it. It happened on 4 or 5 occasions. Exactly the same thing.
So they were kicking the ball over him.
Man.
They were kicking the ball past him, and he was going to intercept and kicking it out of play.
He was next to the Everton player. So the ball easily would have went past both of them, right? It was just going that quick. And he's gone up 3 times. It skimmed the top of his head and went straight out.
Right. So that tells you that the Everton team did have a game plan on the way to disrupt our game.
100%, man.
And the players, despite Lampard being a terrible coach, he's saying look for chinks in the way we play and exploit it and keep exploiting it.
You saw the way
so the players have realised, look, we've got a chance here to run down the clock. Let's keep kicking it over towards Tellez.
Yeah.
Little things like that. Every time Ronaldo get the ball, I saw one of the midfielders rough him up like that with the shoulder barge. Did you see the one time when he had the ball? He was trying to look for a pass, and he was shoved off the ball.
Yeah.
So they had little tactics throughout the game, which they kept on doing. They kept on exploiting. That shows a team that really is fighting and us working together in synergy. Whereas us, there's nothing. Yeah.
So, as we can see, we lost another 3 points drop. So, I mean, when I said, like I told you guys before the show started, out of 51 points, we've only taken 9. That's horrendous, mate. Not
51.
We've taken 9 points out of 51.
Oh my God.
So we've lost 8. Out of 8, that's 24, right? We've drawn 9, which is 27. We've only taken 9 from 27 available.
That's horrendous.
That is horrendous, mate. It's relegation form. I'm telling you, it's really bad. Think about it. We are so okay. How many points are we behind City now? Is it 20?
Oh, gosh.
Or is it 10? It must be more than 10.
Is it even worth I can tell you.
Please.
In a second.
I just want to know how far back we are from City and Liverpool.
And isn't there a big game today?
City's Liverpool. That's a big game.
Wow, mate. That's at 4:30. Yeah. Right. So City are on 73 points. Liverpool are on 72, and we are crumbling down in 7th, almost 8th at 51.
That's 22 points behind us. 22 points.
22 points behind.
That's 7 games.
We've got an extra game. We've played 31. They've played 30.
See what I mean?
It's really.
You see, so with 22 points behind them, that's 7 wins we've fucked up. That's the 8 losses there. That's 24 points there that I told you we've lost 8 games, that's 24 points lost. Right there.
And the worrying thing about it, right, is that our new coach, whoever is going to come in, most likely Ten Hag, he's seeing that the players have down tools. He's seen the players have given up, and although a lot of the players haven't been sacked or got rid of, they should still be making an effort and trying to
100%,
salvage whatever they can.
100%.
Yeah, and if Ten Hag is seeing the players downing tools time and time again, he's got to have a lot of worries as to what he's inheriting here. Football heritage, as Jose Mourinho used to say. What is he going to be inheriting at this club next season?
So, like Adam said, and I think I spoke to a lot of guys yesterday on the pod. They want United not to be in Europe, but because United demands as a dynasty, they want United to still be in Europe because the club is too big not to be in Europe. But going into Europa League and playing Sunday, Thursday is not going to help this team. It's not. That's the last thing they need. I think they should not be in Europe. Just play domestic. Try and win a Carabao Cup. Try and win an FA Cup and get your best.
But what if the Europa League gave a chance for our bloated squad to try and prove themselves? The fringe players could go and prove themselves, and try to do something. Let this A team, although we can't really call them an A team anymore, fight on the Premier League front, and let the B team fight on the Europa League front.
Remember, think about it. So there's still 7 games to go, and I could see more defeats coming. I could still see 3 more defeats in that 7.
Yeah.
We're going to Anfield. Don't forget, Anfield.
Yeah.
Emirates. We're still going to play Chelsea.
Yeah. Chelsea is still in 3rd place at 62.
They're still going to try and sort it. They're coming to Old Trafford. It's not like we don't beat anyone at Old Trafford.
Chelsea is coming to Old Trafford.
Yes.
Okay.
So we don't beat anyone at Old Trafford.
Yeah, that's the last game, home game.
What was the final score against Southampton? When I left, it was 6-0. What was the final score against Southampton? Because they destroyed Southampton. Does anyone remember the final score?
6-0. Oh my God.
Yeah, Chelsea 6-0 yesterday.
6-0.
It ended at 6. Okay.
And didn't we draw or lose against Southampton?
We drew 0-0.
My God, there's no point even getting upset over this stuff.
No, it's not.
Both of you.
Mate.
Honestly, it's just
that's what I said. There's no point in getting upset.
There isn't. We are the laughing stock of the Premier League. Look at Richarlison doing his keepy uppies on his head, and the crowd's going, ole, ole, ole. We're just being laughed at, mate.
I don't know if you watched any of the fan reactions I did yesterday.
Yeah, I did.
I quoted you, like as Adam would say, if you don't expect, you won't be disappointed. And that was my motto yesterday. Don't be disappointed. But if you don't expect much, you won't be disappointed.
If you have no expectations, you don't come out disappointed.
100%.
Yeah, but logically, that is the right way to think. But when you're watching the game, you're still hoping for that glimmer of hope.
Of course, we're United fans.
Yeah, we still hope.
Every United fan, the last 5 minutes, we're still hoping and believing. One cross, one header, one kick will go in.
Yeah.
Nope. Another defeat, another game thrown down the window. We've got Norwich next weekend. I don't hope on anything that I can see a draw, the most a draw.
Yeah.
And we're talking Old Trafford relegation team. Which is sad though. It's sad.
Norwich where are Norwich? Oh gosh, Norwich in 20th. They're actually in 20th.
They are. That's what I'm saying. They are the bottom of the table.
And they are 10 points behind Everton, who have just scraped 17 at the moment.
See what I mean?
So they're 10 points adrift.
See what I mean?
8 games to go. So it's a tough stance for them. But I bet you they'll play better than us.
100%. Why wouldn't they?
Yeah.
They're fighting for their life. I mean, are they mathematically relegated yet, or they're still trying to survive? They can still survive.
No. They're not mathematically relegated because 8 games to go, 3 points each, that's 24 points. So they're not that far adrift, but it looks a tough gig for them.
I was talking to a clown yesterday. When I say a clown, because when I tell you what this clown was talking about, I actually thought in my mind, this guy has either forgotten to take his medication and before he came out to the pub, or he's been having a few. He's had a few this before he came to the game. He said, if United win the next 7 games, they'll make top 4. I said,
What, and everyone else is losing?
I said,
what about other teams?
He said we could get results. He said because we hate Liverpool, we could beat Liverpool, we could beat Arsenal. Arsenal inconsistent. We could beat Chelsea. That's 9 points. I looked at this guy like,
we're not beating these teams. No chance,
that's
man.
what I said. I spoke to a clown.
He forgot to take his delusionary medication.
That's what I'm saying to you.
Our team does not know how to step up, or just don't know their mate. This is United, right?
That's what I'm trying to
Sloppy,
say. That I spoke to a clown.
Weak, unorganized, lack passion. They lack creativity. They're very predictable. Mate, I don't know how many times yesterday I saw, and I said it in this pod with Emad. How many times Sancho or Tellez went to the byline without any hesitation or any thought? They just crossed it without any thought to where the ball's going. And most of the time went to Pickford. There was no sign of a cutback. There was nothing. It was like, let's get to the byline. Let's just put a crossing.
Yeah.
It's just simple-minded park football. That's what it is. It's just simple. It's not even I said it. It's not even football. It's not football, what they're playing. No chance. They get the ball. They receive the ball out of the back third, and they're walking, waiting for players to make a move. Walking, next pass, player stops. They'll make another pass, player stops. There's no movement at all.
It is like watching a FIFA game, because when the active player is the one that's moving, the others just kind of like roam around like headless chickens.
Yeah.
And
that's it.
Only till they get the ball do they come alive. It's like watching FIFA on the PlayStation. That the others are static. They don't do nothing until you activate them through the control pad.
That's what it's like. Yeah.
Have you seen that, Tim, as well? And
Yeah.
You've seen that in the games, yeah? You have to activate them using the control pad.
We don't have.
Doesn't have the control pad. No one does. You can't
Our players aren't proactive, right? I talk about it a lot when I watch football here in Australia. Okay, and that's with the younger teams, especially female football. And I watch a lot of female football. They're not proactive. They're not proactive.
I was about to say, right? You do?
And sorry.
Okay, nothing. We keep going.
They're not proactive. They wait to see the pass and then they make the move.
Right.
That's the problem. And Manchester United are the same. And you see the same in men's football as well. A lot of it these days. You see it's not just female. You see it in male football as well. Watch young men play football, like under 16s, 17s, 18s, when my daughter's refereeing. Over here again, and they want to score every single time with the ball. There's no cohesion. There's no keeping the ball. It's just, let's just turn on the ball and get forward as quick as possible and get a shot off. It's just a thoughtless process. You don't have to score on every time you've got the ball. I mean, we just get the ball and we've got just no creativity at all. We have nothing. You got players like Bruno that's now signed 5 years. Do you think here's a question for you? I don't know if I asked you last time. Do you think it was right that United signed Bruno for 5 years before the new manager came in?
No,
but I know why they've done it. Because Bruno, obviously, when he came into the Premier League, it was a sensation, and they feel that he's slightly underpaid compared to the rest of the Premier League.
Yes.
And so the reason for signing him and tying him down was to keep him before the other clubs come in and poach and steal him away from us. And so the club thought that this guy is imperative to our club going forward. And they want to lock him down on a long-term deal before he is poached. That's why they did it.
All right. So
hopefully, I'm hoping they discussed it with Ten Hag and say, look, is he part of your plans? And I think he would have said yes. But look, here's a question for you, okay? There's no point us like jumping off Sydney Harbour Bridge or anything like that. Let's think ahead.
Norwich.
No, let's think way ahead. Next season, what new incoming coach, new coaching setup, old coaching people have pretty much gone. The Wi-Fi dude, what's his name? He's leaving as well,
My
isn't he?
feeling.
Mike Phelan, yeah. So you've got a new coaching setup. You're going to possibly have Van Persie. You're going to possibly have René Mullenstein, Ten Hag, and co. What do you think? Apart from hiring and firing, what do you think we could do to fix this club? What do you think the coaching setup could do to fix this club? What needs to happen?
CDM we first needed.
Okay, so players.
The McTominay combination needs to be dismantled 100%.
Dismantled.
100%. That Matic, I think they're gonna have to let Matic go at this point.
I think he's getting too old, isn't he? He's still good, but
he's still good, but the games is running out of game time now because they're gonna have to get somebody, a Ruben Neves, somebody younger.
Yeah. There's talk of Calvin Phillips, isn't there? They're looking at buying Calvin Phillips.
I heard that a while ago.
Declan Rice is where.
I just cannot see Ten Hag turning this around. I just can't.
Not immediately.
You've got to remove that. Just imagine, if we need to get, you've got to take away that negative thought. If we are to rebuild, and Ten Hag is going to be determined to do that, because this is going to be the biggest job of his life.
The first thing we've got to do is have a mass clear out.
Yeah, so we have a clear out.
We've got to have that clear out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we've got to go searching for players that want to play for the club, not the money.
Yeah.
It's got to start somewhere. You can't be going offering $80 million, $90 million, $100 million for players. It's just not going to work. Right. And regardless of whether they've done it.
That's the nature of the game, though, isn't it? It's become a money game.
But it's not. Liverpool have just gone out and bought more players and they haven't spent that kind of money.
Exactly.
That's why they're refusing to pay Salah his money. Because they don't want to make an example of it.
Yeah,
but it's got to stop somewhere.
Yeah, but the problem with the Man United is that damage has been done a while ago.
Yeah.
But mate, if you set a precedence for next season, right? You set a precedence for next season, and I know that'll show. If you offer someone a reasonably amount of money, right, 60 to 70 million. Let's say 60 to 70 million. Is that reasonable? Do you think?
Yeah.
So without what you're saying, inflated,
should be the maximum point.
Yeah. So Adam, 60. What you're saying in a nutshell is that the wage structure needs to be reset as well.
It's going to be.
That's what you're saying.
Wage structure. The Glazers need to be a lot more involved, and it starts at the top.
Okay.
It's the whole thing.
Let me tell you what's going to be.
A manager is just not going to solve this overnight.
It's
got to start at the top.
Yeah, and it's not only the manager that this all falls on. Yes, he's going to have to set some vision. But every person at that club needs to make a concerted effort to start pushing us in the right direction.
They all need to be on the same page.
Think about it.
Everyone.
Look at this way. Let me start with players like Rashford, who's looking for a new contract. Rashford is currently on $215 a week, right? He's looking to go to $350 a week on his next contract. That's the target, right?
Okay, I'll put it to you this way, and you know me with Rashford, I like him. If he's asking for $350, I put it to him like this: sorry, mate, you haven't been playing well enough, and you haven't been playing anywhere close to the way you've been playing over the past 3 years. So you've shown me nothing this year. I'm going to offer you the same money that you're on, and if you don't like it, you can go somewhere else.
Then you're going to hear. This is the problem. One, he's English. The English media are going to say...
Regardless, it's a precedent this club needs to take.
Yes, 100%. That is what me and you would do. That's what me and you, because we're logical. They are not logical. They're looking at, he's young, he's English, he brings in revenue, he's from the academy. But then, they're going to say he's an England player.
Tim,
you can't let him go.
That's fine. They can say that. But then don't go get Ten Hag, because he's not going to change anything. Because we need Ten Hag and Ralph Rangnick running this club. If this is the way we want to go forward. Because if we have the same attitude as we've got this year, the year before, the past 5 years, the past 6 years, the past 7 years, Nothing's going to change. It's just another manager coming in. The players are just going to turn on him, and then he's going to be out of the club. So it's going to be no different.
So this is the delay in Ten Hag signing because he wants to have this control over the club in terms of which players come and go. He doesn't want to be held to ransom like we have been. And I think that's the delay of why we haven't had an announcement yet.
Right. So where are players like Martial, Diallo?
Where is Martial?
Martial's at Sevilla. Diallo is at Rangers. Pelistri is somewhere. I don't know where he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Diallo's only young, isn't he? He's a young player.
Yeah,
he is. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's irrelevant. He comes back to the club. They put him back into the, maybe the first team or the youth team.
He's only 19 years old.
That's
Diallo.
what I mean. So it's irrelevant. It's
same age as Elanga.
Really, yeah.
Okay. Then
you got what's his name over at Nottingham Forest? Like
is Martial being sold?
James Garner.
James Garner. James Garner should be coming back to play.
Yeah.
They're going to consider him as a CDM.
Well, they should be because he's been quality and he was quality in the youth side.
I typed in James Garner's age. It says 86.
Add them both together and it'll give you his age.
The other James Garner. Yeah. He comes up first. James Garner's 21.
So what do we do, Martial?
21.
Are we selling him or are we keeping him?
Martial, see you later. We don't, would ya? And it's
How
like
old
I
is Anthony
said.
Martial?
Martial's 26 or 27 now.
26, yeah. 26 in December, 27 in December.
But he's another one that's proved nothing. He's shown nothing. If you haven't got the will or the drive to play for the club, don't go asking for money because you're not getting it.
Yeah,
and that's the way it should be.
He's on 250.
And I'm with that with every single player, no matter who you are.
So what they could do then is that they can just hold all pay rises, freeze the pay rises, come in, fresh start, re-audition for the club. Who's going to make that 25-man squad?
Luke Shaw is up for renewal next season.
Well, they need to all come and prove themselves, re-audition for their club, for the new manager, and then based on the initial pre-seasons and training and how they perform, then decide who's going to be that. Is it a 25-man squad for Premier League?
Yes.
Is that what they have to submit to the Premier League? A 25-man squad?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's it.
Cavani's gone. We know Cavani is. Are we sure Cavani's leaving next season?
Yeah. He's gone. Yeah. Because it was just an extension this year.
Right.
They kept him, and he's gone. I mean, I wouldn't suggest keeping him.
Shit
How many
like
times?
that, like giving him an extension, like shit. I understand he was okay
good
for us.
He was good in his
he was
first
okay.
season.
I wouldn't say
but
he was okay.
Ronaldo coming in has kind of dispersed him or displaced him a little bit, and he's injured.
He's been more injured than playing, mate. He's been more injured than playing.
Yeah,
that's the problem. See, he said he wasn't fit to play for us, but he plays for Uruguay. Give me a break.
The thing is, with our club, it just seems, and it's quite rare, that the young strikers, I mean, Rashford did it for a season or two. I think Martial did it for a season. It's too much for them to take on at this big,
to lead the line
in the big Premier League. So they like to go for the experienced strikers. Even Fergie did it. Fergie wanted the experienced strikers to come in and help us out. And so that seems to be the way of the club.
But if you notice, right, under Fergie, they tended to use strikers and build teams around them. So you remember he came out, he started back in the day, started with Brian McClair, Mark Hughes, then Brian McClair, then Hughes, then Cantona, then Cantona and Cole, then Cole and York, then Sheringham, then Ole.
Sheringham. Yeah.
So they're mixing, rotated four of them. They've been rotated, but the main two were always York and Cole. Then then Nistelrooy came in. York was phased out. Sheringham was phased out.
Yeah, and it's the same reason for buying Van Persie, an experienced striker.
Tevez,
Van Persie.
Berbatov.
We used to buy the best in the Premier League, right?
Right.
Everyone used to, and they still say it to me, oh, yeah, you always used to buy all the players, or you used to buy everyone. We didn't. Alex Ferguson was up against it every single year buying players. He just used to buy the best in the Premier League. You might make one or two signings a season. Yeah. And then there'd be that gap, and then he'd go and do it again.
Yeah,
and that was
also,
the thing.
he handpicked them, but he also he went to personally meet them as well. He would almost kind of
100% he did.
groom them into the club, like and he worked with players that he felt that he could actually work with and encourage to become better. Like,
he never always
if you look at Cantona's
right,
interview, the guy loves Fergie. He said it was like my father. Ronaldo said the same thing. He's like my father. So I think Ferguson picked players that he knew that he could have a good rapport with, that were receptive. You're not going to hire a player who's not going to speak to you or not going to communicate. So I think that rapport was important for Fergie, and that's what we need to go back to.
Right, because
Manager having a good rapport with the players.
If you remember, when United won the title in 2003, that last season of Beckham, United were starting to rebuild. Ronaldo came in to replace Beckham. They brought in Rooney in 2005. Chelsea were now the dominant team there. 2004 was Arsenal's Invincibles. 2005, 2006 was Chelsea. Then Rooney and Ronaldo started to gel. Then they added Tevez. And don't forget, there was also Louis Saha, who was another one who was a very good player, but injury prone.
Yeah.
So by 07, 06, 07, he had now got a full team together. Ronaldo, Rooney, Tevez. That's why they dominated that league. 07, 08, 09. I mean, they won 3 in a row and the Champions League. You see? So he started to rebuild. Then when Tevez left, when Tevez and Ronaldo left, he brought in Berbatov. Because that's when City
started. Class striker, right?
So back in those days, did we have like 4 strikers almost?
Literally,
2 main and 2 on the bench, and then there was a fair bit of rotation. Yeah. So we had around 4 strikers, right?
Oh, most of the time, yes.
Most of the time.
Ole was never the main striker. Ole was never the main striker. Ole was a backup.
He was always a super sub, wasn't he?
Super sub.
Super stud.
So now, if you look at how many strikers we have now, it's Ronaldo, Mason, Cavani, and who's the 4th one?
Rashford.
Rashford's not a striker.
Rashford's not a
striker. Never has been.
So
even when Martial was playing, Martial when he was playing 9, Rashford was playing always 7 and 11.
What is Rashford's role then now? What's his position?
Left. Well, now that he's lost it to Sancho, because it doesn't look like
Sancho went out on the right yesterday.
Oh, did he do much?
He started left. He started on the left, and he was still out there on the left. Because I still remember Bruno, Ronaldo, and Sancho out, and Tellez out on that left-hand side at one stage. And I'm looking in the middle of the box, and there's one player in the box. Look, and then you go, Aaron Wan-Bissaka. We put a cross in for Wan-Bissaka.
Yeah. The thing
Everyone
is,
stood up, thought he was going to
score. One season as our main striker.
What did you say, Vimo?
Didn't we deploy Rashford one season as our main striker?
Then he got injured.
Right.
It must have been only for a week or so.
No, he played for that season. He was on 16 goals. He was on fire.
Yeah.
He got his mojo. He was on fire. Then that was a
he was top goal scorer 2 years straight.
Yeah, so that's the season that we deployed him effectively as our main striker.
Yes.
So we didn't have anyone else.
No. That was the season we had to go and get another striker. That was Ole's second season. The 3rd season, he was literally done at that time because they'd literally been burnt out.
So Ole
was coming into his 4th season, wasn't it? His 4th season.
Yeah.
Had he not been fired.
Right, yeah. That's correct, yeah. So then I wonder, René Moulenstein, so if he's going to be brought into the mix, obviously he had a lot of success with as an assistant coach under Fergie. Right. Is he going to be doing something similar if he comes back in?
I told you, he's the assistant for the Socceroos.
Oh,
René Moulenstein.
Yeah, Moulenstein, yeah.
Currently now?
Remember I sent it to you?
Oh,
so he's currently the assistant.
Currently assistant for the Socceroos, yeah. He was the assistant for Fergie, yeah.
And who's the manager of Socceroos at the moment?
Oh, Graham Arnold. You wouldn't know.
Right. No. Okay.
No.
Okay.
Oh,
well, Moulenstein, is he Dutch?
Moulenstein is Dutch. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're going to have Van Persie, Moulenstein.
I might have to go out. They might have to go out and watch the Socceroos next game and hook up with him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell him, sort our club out, mate.
Yeah. Are you coming in? Sign me flag.
Yeah. So can we talk about this, Adam? You were at the pub yesterday. You said there were a couple of scouts there.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a couple of scouts here. Yeah, there's an academy out here that brought them out, and yeah, they're looking at players. Yeah, these guys have got some great contacts, obviously around the world, and yeah, they're looking at players around here, whether they take anyone or they take them back into academies back in England and stuff like that. Yeah, oh, they won't be taking any. That's for sure. They wouldn't be taking any Australian players into Manchester United. That's for sure. There hasn't been one there for a long time. The last Australian player at Manchester United was Mark Bosnich. We've got a couple of boys that were in the Manchester City academy.
Really?
Because we've got the not America. Have City bought into America? They have, haven't they? Have they got New York Cosmos or something like that? Is it?
Their group does own a lot of franchises in America.
So they own one in Australia called Melbourne City. What's the one in America?
I have no clue, mate.
Yeah, they do own one in America. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
So, gentlemen, we have concluded that this is a sinking ship. Or should we say so? It's not even sinking. It's already sank. It's now like, how far is it going to sink? That's where we're at. Is it going to the bottom of the seabed, or is it just going to remain getting close to the bottom of the seabed? That's where you are. Norwich next weekend. We're not in Europe. We're not anywhere. With no trophies. So at the end of this season, we will be 6 years, going into 6 years, and no trophies. Even the bad years, whenever it is.
That's like, Tim, it's like I've said before. I don't care about the trophies, I just care about the attitude of players, because if we get the attitude of the players right, then the trophies will come. And you can't look at that. It's a big issue with our supporters these days. They just look at trophies. You look at Liverpool. Let's look at Liverpool, right?
Right.
Everyone's going on about how great their team is.
Mm-hmm.
If they don't win the league this year, they're going on one Premier League title in the past 31, 32 years.
And a Champions League and a Carabao Cup.
It doesn't matter. They still not winning as many as United, are they?
European Super Cup.
To me, it doesn't matter. For Liverpool, they want the Premier League.
Yeah, but
that's what they want.
Premier League. They have.
That's what they want.
We haven't won a Carabao, mate. We don't even won a Community Shield.
Couldn't care less.
Oh,
I honestly couldn't care less, mate. I'm more worried about you're not going to get a trophy until you get the attitude of the players right,
100%.
or everyone at the club all on the same page.
When you win a trophy,
if that happens, then that's winning a trophy.
Right. When you win a trophy, it's a collective winning mentality engraved in the brain. We need, like Fergus used to say, you won the league title, we won it this year, right, let's focus on next season. How hungry are you to win it again and defend your title? That's the mentality. But they haven't even got to the point of holding a trophy.
Mate, we just need to not lose to relegated sides.
That's right.
So that'll be the first achievement. We win this weekend. Yeah. The sad thing about it, when we score this weekend, how excited are our fans going to be? Yeah, and that's how far and how low we've got. That's how far and low we've got. It's embarrassing, man. It is embarrassing to be a Manchester United supporter. The whole setup is like people wonder why Manchester United fans are always looking back into history. We dead set dominate the history of the Premier League, and even before that, Division 1. We still, even though we weren't winning titles like Liverpool and stuff like that, we still carry ourselves with pride. With the Munich air disaster, we still we went. From 58 to 68, we won the Champions League. 63, we won a title. It's just straight after Munich, we get to an FA Cup final. We lost. But it doesn't matter. It's the passion and the drive this club shows. And it's just gone. It is absolutely heart-wrenching. It's gone, man. It's a fucking disgrace.
You were asking about City. So they have the parent organisation is called City Football Group, obviously run by Sheikh Mansour. And the clubs that they own are obviously Manchester City, which is their flagship club, bread and butter. They own New York City. They own Melbourne City.
New York City.
Yokohama F. Marinos. They own Montevideo City Talk. Girona FC. Sichuan Jinhua, which is probably Chinese. They own Mumbai City Football Club. Lommel SK. And another one, Esperance Sportivo, probably South American, and Club Bolivar, probably
are not playing.
South American. Not only that, so they've got their tentacles all over the world in terms of football clubs. They also have a partnership with Gold Soccer Centre, which is the biggest five-a-side group in the UK. So they're doing a lot for grassroots football. They're getting their tentacles all around the world in major clubs and trying to make a statement there. And I've heard so many times as well that players prefer to go to the City Academy as opposed to any other ones now because of their development.
Yeah, their academy is unbelievable.
Yeah,
it's the same case here in Australia as well. Like, if you want to play for a W League team, even like a women's facilities and the men's facilities down in Melbourne, Melbourne City are phenomenal. Our female side at Manchester United don't have their own facilities yet.
Yeah.
The City group in Australia, the girls have their own gym. They have their own. They play in a big stadium. They're really well looked after, as far as I know.
Yeah, and
I know about 3 or 4 girls that play in that team.
Yeah, and weren't the ladies leaving the Manchester United group as well to go to other academies or to other ladies' football teams?
Mate, the girls last season, not the current season, the season before, were walking nearly 2K to go to the toilet.
Oh my God!
They didn't even have their own dressing rooms.
That is ridiculous.
It's an absolute disgrace.
Yeah.
Our club is an embarrassment, mate, all round.
Right. So the ownership, it starts from the very top. That's the
first thing that needs to be sorted.
Yeah. So the ownership is not really doing anything in the footballing world in terms of our brand and how they are, spreading the football message or making football, a better sport. Right. City, Chelsea are leading the way in that, not us.
Right. Vimo, any last words?
I'm just hoping that during this summer break we can get the right man, get the right coaching setup in place quickly, and try to remove these problems that we're experiencing. And I'm hoping that next season is going to be something we can all feel happy about, rather than miserable about.
Adam, take us home. Final word.
I've got, honestly, final word. In the next couple of days, Emad's had his rant today. So look forward to that video. I'll be sending it to Tim in the next day or so. That's a good one to watch. But as far as the club, at this stage, I'll always fight for the club. I always love the club. But at this stage, I really couldn't give a fuck about the club because they're an absolute disgrace to the Premier League. They're a disgrace to their fans. They make the effort week in, week out to support them. And the players, I don't know how they sleep at night. It's just an absolute embarrassment to sport. They're an embarrassment to sport.
Do you know how they sleep, Adam? They sleep in the most expensive beds and the most lavish houses because they earn 250, 300 grand a week.
That's
they
fine.
sleep in pure luxury.
They can have that, but they'll always be known for season 2021, 2022 of being the worst team ever to play for Manchester United. End of the pod right there.
And their PR team will shield them from that as well.
That's right.
And protect them.
But all the fans know that they are the worst team ever to play for Manchester United.
We know that, but
and that's enough.
They'll live in their deluded lives.
Their PR team's a disgrace as well because they can't even get that right half the time.
100%. Well, gentlemen, it's been an absolute pleasure on a very difficult day after watching another sloppy shit show from Manchester United, losing the 8th game of the season and embarrassing themselves, because this was a very lackluster performance, 100% all round. On a scale of 1 to 9, I'll give the De Gea, I mean, he was an outfield player, but the whole team was absolutely embarrassing. Just like Adam said, it was piss poor. It was just absolutely piss poor performance from United.
The thing about it is we have a tour coming up in 3 months.
And I heard they're charging an arm and
both
a leg
venues are just about sold out.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
And for me, I want them just to bring a youth side. Bring David De Gea, Sancho, bring Bruno if you want. Ronaldo, I don't think will come because
he'll be there.
I'm hearing he's not vaccinated. I'm hearing he's not vaccinated anyway. So,
is he anti-vax as well, Ronaldo? I didn't know that.
From what I'm hearing, yes.
So he's going to
he won't be allowed into the country,
and he ain't going to sleep in that shitty hotel like Djokovic did.
yeah. So
yes.
I want to see people. I want to see people players on this tour that want to play for the club, not because they're there for their wages.
Yeah.
Right. Well, viewers, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Look out for more content we're going to post this week, today, tomorrow, and this week. Just keep following the channel. Adam, absolute pleasure talking to you today and joining us. Vimo, thank you very much again. It's been a very difficult day to discuss.
Yes.
You know, it hurts more when your team is so underperforming.
Yeah.
On paper, they look good. On the field, they look absolutely crap. And that's what hurts more. From all of us, are we booing? Are we suing? What are we doing?
It's a buoy, man. Definitely.
Okay. Another buoy? All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boo! See you guys soon.
Where's the reset button? Start
the
again.
Explosion button. See ya.
All right, mate. You take it easy.
Take care.
Don't. I'll send. Adam, I'll send you a message later. All right.